She told me to my face that no one would ever get an A in her class, and that her biggest wish was to never deal with me again. Well, wishes don't always come true, especially when karma decides to step in. This is the story of how my nightmare teacher tried everything to break me and ended up losing everything instead. If you've ever had someone in power try to crush your spirit for no good reason, and you've wished you could serve up the perfect dose of karma, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me. This revenge? Oh, it's personal. 9th grade, honors English. That was the year I met her. The first and only teacher in my life who genuinely didn't like me. And I don't mean the usual, you don't turn in your homework on time kind of frustration. No, this was personal. She hated athletes. She saw us as lazy, privileged distractions from her serious academic world. And I happened to play 3 sports, so from day one, I was on her hit list. Now, I wasn't just missing school for games. I was also competing in math, science, and quiz bowl tournaments. But it didn't matter. She saw athlete, and her brain went lazy meathead. She'd assign double the homework, only the nights before long away games. And conveniently, she'd only ever check homework the day after we came back exhausted. Her grading? It was a joke. I'd turn in solid essays with 0 red marks. Score? A 72. Meanwhile, classmates had papers bled through with edits and got 90s. When I finally asked her why, she said, "You're only working at 70% of your potential. They're giving 90% of theirs." So even if mine was better, I got punished. And when I asked, "So you're telling me my paper can be better and still get 20 points less?" She smiled and said yes. The irony? She recommended me for an advanced writing course a year early. But then came the extra credit assignment. She told the class, "Want a grade boost? Go see the local college's production of Antigone. Write a 2,500-word paper connecting it to our class themes. Submit your ticket, your program, and your paper. Due Monday." I told her for a full week. I'll be out that Monday for the biggest academic competition of the year. She nodded repeatedly. "Turn it in Tuesday morning," she said. Said it 4 times. So I went to the play, wrote the paper, placed first and second in my competition categories. Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., I showed up in her room, proud and exhausted, and she looked me dead in the eye and said, "Sorry, that's late. I never said you could turn it in Tuesday." She gaslit me like I had imagined the entire conversation. Then she listed excuses. "You could have had your mom drop it off. Except I didn't know it was due Monday. You could have done it Monday night. Except my file's metadata showed it hadn't been touched since Saturday." She refused to take it. I lost the extra credit. I wasted $25 on the ticket, and my mom, a teacher at the same school, was furious. But the final straw was her pride in being cruel. She boasted that no one had ever earned an A on her final exam. On the last day of class, she asked, "What's your biggest wish?" I said, "To get an A on your final?" She laughed and snapped back, "Yeah, and I wish for $1 million and to never deal with you again." So I studied like hell. Not to please her, but to prove her wrong. The final was 100 questions plus a 5-point bonus. I breezed through the exam in 20 minutes, and I used the remaining time to let loose. The bonus question asked, "What did you learn from this class?" I wrote, "I'm not sure I learned anything from you. You never gave feedback, you played favorites, you punished students who challenged you. My favorite part of this class? It being over." I held nothing back. Everything I'd bottled up for a year poured out in 5 savage paragraphs.
Then, the bell rang. I was the only student out of 110 to get up at the hour mark. Out in the breezeway, waiting for my mom to finish proctoring another exam, she stormed out, holding my test with tears in her eyes, and told me to go to the principal's office. She dragged my mom out of her class, and the three of us sat down. She screamed, she cried, she choked on her own words. For 45 minutes, she poured out her anger. I sat there, calm, and finally told the principal everything, what she'd done all year. He looked at her and asked, "How much was the bonus question worth?" She croaked, "5 points. He shrugged, "Then just don't give him the bonus." I made a 98. Every other student, mid-80s or lower. She thought she got the last laugh, but I saw that one assignment from months ago had mysteriously dropped by 10 points, just enough to pull me below an A. Couldn't prove it, but I knew.
But karma? That summer, the school switched to a 10-point scale. My 94.4 became an A, and the administration started auditing her assignments. She was forced to accept digital submissions. 2 years later, she was fired after enough students stepped up. Turns out, I wasn't the only one. I was just the first to finally say something. She tried to break me. Instead, she broke herself. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button because petty cruelty deserves karma this sweet. What's the most satisfying revenge you have ever seen? Drop it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories where justice finally wins.